standing on gon' fall, it's too shaky. The rock we standing on won't move, we rock steady. But the rock y'all got is watered down, just like gravy. It's the roll with that rock, and that rock, it couldn't save me. I was in and out of it, I came back.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of The Absolute Truth. This is the Bible show that focuses on the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth concerning the Word of God, while leaving out all personal opinions, speculations, and beliefs. I'm Brother Joshua, and today reading for me is Brother Big Baby. And the title of today's class is The Christmas Tree, Condemned Throughout the Bible. Again, today's title is The Christmas Tree, Condemned Throughout the Bible. And I decided to do this class for obvious reasons. First, it being the Christmas holiday season. Now, we all know that every year, millions upon millions of professed Christians decorate their homes with Christmas decorations and place Christmas trees in their homes. We also know that professed Christians even have Christmas trees in their church. You can go into a church right now and there's a Christmas tree sitting right up front by the altar where the reverend does the preaching. But these same so-called professed Christians don't even understand that the Christmas tree is a pagan idol that has been condemned throughout the Bible. Now, I know a lot of y'all out there listening are already familiar with Jeremiah chapter 10. They said, I know where he's going with this, Jeremiah chapter 10. And we're going to read Jeremiah chapter 10. But I'm here to show y'all that Jeremiah 10 is not by far the only place the Christmas tree is condemned in the Bible. It is condemned in several other places. We're going to show you in this class today, strictly from the Bible, and, looking up a few words in the Strong Concordance, that the Christmas tree is a pagan idol that has been condemned by God from the very beginning. We're even going to show you from the Bible that they were even putting presents or gifts under the Christmas tree. Of course, in the Bible, it was not called the Christmas tree. It was called something else. But the practice of which Christmas and decorating the Christmas tree evolved from is mentioned in the Bible. And if you're honest with yourself, you can see plainly that this is talking about what we know today as a Christmas tree, and God hates it. We're even going to show you strictly from the Bible how children even tie into this, because Christmas mainly revolves around the children, doesn't it? Children are the main theme of Christmas. The gifts, the tree, and the children. I could have easily just did this class and went through history and showed you all the pagan origins of Christmas. That's been done to death. Here at Absolute Bible Truth, we don't believe in showing you things you already know. We don't believe in drilling something into you you have heard a million times somewhere else before. The information I'm going to show you here about Christmas, even though a lot of y'all already know Christmas is pagan, is information that you're not going to hear even from people who condemn Christmas. Some of this information, they don't even know about it. So like I said, I could have went into history books and showed you from history. No, this is going to be strictly a Bible class condemning the Christmas tree. No need to go to history. You can go to history on your own time and look it up. I'm not going to go to a history book, not going to go to an encyclopedia. I'm just going to show you in the Bible, straight from the Bible, over and over again, that what we know as the Christmas tree was a pagan false god worshipped by the ancients, and eventually Israel took on that pagan practice, and God condemned and punished them severely for it. And if God does not change, and he doesn't, then he will do the same thing to us. So let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to start this off in the most known verses condemning the Christmas tree, Jeremiah 10. I'm going to show you something that they don't show you in this either. Jeremiah 10 and verse 1. So let's just be honest. A lot of these so-called Christians have become aware of Jeremiah 10. And some of them already even have rebuttals ready for it. They're weak rebuttals, but they have rebuttals ready for it. Okay, We're going to read Jeremiah 10. And I want to see you rebuttal Jeremiah 10. And even if you think you can, I want to see you rebuttal these numerous other scriptures we're going to hit you with that obviously condemns the Christmas tree. You have to don't just beat it. You have to kill it. You got to nail it so deep into the ground that it can never be dug up again. Jeremiah 10 and verse 1. Because not only is this talking about a Christmas tree, it's also talking about why they were doing this. Pay attention. 10 and 1. Go ahead and read.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Now this is God talking. Not Jeremiah, but God. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
This is a commandment. Learn not the way of the heathen, which means the other nations. Don't practice what they do. This is a commandment. That means whatever you're about to read next, God is telling you as a believer, don't imitate this. Don't do this. Go ahead and read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
It said don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. That means don't be tricked or confused at the signs in the sky. Because when the seasons were changing, the pagans would be afraid and they would get dismayed. Like the people that originally practiced Christmas, which was called the winter solstice, they thought that their sun god was dying. Because around this time of year, it gets dark earlier. So they was dismayed at the signs of heaven. And then, you know, when spring times come, the days start growing longer, so they thought their God was resurrecting. Because they felt he was coming back alive. But go ahead and read.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
For the nations are dismayed at them. He's telling the children of Israel, the people who know the truth, the believers, don't be fooled by the signs of heaven or afraid, because the nations are. Go ahead.
For the customs of the people are vain.
The customs, the practices of the people are vain. That means nothing. It also means lies. In the Bible, vain sometimes means lies. Go ahead and read.
For one cut of a tree out of the forest.
It said one cuts a tree out of the forest. Go ahead.
The work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
It said the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. Some Bible translations say the chisel. It said with the axe. He cuts down the tree with an axe. Or he cuts down the tree and he carves it into an idol. Go ahead and read.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They deck it with silver and with gold. When you read this, when I first read this, the first song that came to mind was Deck the Hall. It even has the word deck right there. So they deck it or decorate it. That's what that means. They decorate it with silver and with gold. See, right now we can't afford real silver and gold, so we use cheap things. You follow what I'm saying? Like plastic ornaments and things of that nature. But it said they deck it with silver and gold. They decorate a tree with silver and gold. Somebody tell me, anybody, what other time of the year do people cut down trees and decorate them? Christmas. That's obvious. Anybody can see this. You can read this to a child that's been celebrating Christmas, and you can play the guess what I'm talking about game with them. And you describe it, that's a Christmas tree. But you got grown men, people with PhDs in theology, who can't see this. Oh yes, the God of this world, the devil, really have blinded the eyes of the wise, or should I say the so-called wise. So they deck it with silver and gold. What else do they do?
They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
They fasten it down, the tree, after they cut it down and decorate it, they fasten it down to wherever they're going to place it at with hammer and nails so it won't fall. They use that so it can stay up so it won't totter or fall over. Right? Right now we've got a little bit more sophisticated, so now they have things, foundation you just buy and place the tree in. But back in the old days, when they cut these trees down, they had to make a stand for it to hold. So they fasten it with hammers and nails so it won't fall. This is talking about a Christmas tree. Anybody can see this. They just didn't call it a Christmas tree back then because they were celebrating this before the Roman Catholic Church fused paganism and Christianity together. That's how it became the Christmas tree. Before that, it was just an idol. That's what it was. Go ahead and read.
They are upright as the palm
He
tree.
said they stand as upright as the palm tree. They stand as straight up as the palm tree. Go ahead.
Speak not.
But cannot talk. They can't speak. Why is it so important that God is pointing out that this tree cannot talk? Because the heathen were worshiping this tree as a god. And he's trying to let you know, this is not a god. It can't even talk. Go ahead and read.
They must needs be born.
They must needs be carried. Why?
Because they cannot go.
Because they can't go. They can't walk. They don't have any legs. He's letting you know you're worshiping this idol even though it can't talk, even though it can't walk. You have to carry it everywhere it goes. Go ahead and read.
Be not afraid of them.
It said, be not afraid of them. Don't be afraid of these idols. Go ahead.
For they cannot do evil.
Because they cannot do evil. They're not alive. Go ahead.
Neither also is it in them to do good.
They can't deliver you either, though. That's the whole point. They can't do anything for you. But the point is, at the beginning, God said, learn not the way of the heathen. Don't practice what the heathen practice. Now, you got millions of Christians who got Bibles littered all around them. And every last one of them is ignoring this direct commandment from God. He said, learn not the way of the heathen. Don't do what the heathen do. Don't practice. Don't learn their customs. Don't learn their culture. Because it's vain. It's lies. Go ahead and read.
For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great and mighty.
He said, there is none like unto thee, O Lord. Why is Jeremiah saying this? Because he's comparing this idol to God. He said, there is none like you, O God. But their God is this Christmas tree. And we're going to show you everything they do on Christmas to the Christmas tree illustrates worship. Everything they do illustrate worship. From the putting the presents under it to the singing to the tree. We're going to show you in the Bible, all of that illustrates worship. So don't let some fast-talking Christian or preacher try to jump up and say, hey, just because I got a Christmas tree in my house don't mean I worship it. We're going to show you how worship is exercised in the scriptures. So if worship is demonstrated a certain way in the scriptures and you're doing all of that to that tree, how can that not be your God? You're doing everything to this tree that the Bible says you're supposed to do towards God. And we're going to show you that. But finish reading.
Who would not fear thee, O King of nations?
He said, who will not fear thee, O King of nations? Remember, he just said, don't fear this tree. But he said, who will not fear thee, O King of nations? Go ahead and read.
For to thee doth it appertain. For as much as among all the wise men of the nations, and in all their kingdom, there is none like unto thee.
He said, there is none like unto thee, O Lord, among the wise men of the other nations. Remember, the word heathen just means nations. But after a while, people started calling other people heathens in a derogatory way because the heathens were always seen by Hebrew Israelites as being pagans and being stupid. So when somebody called you a heathen, they were actually saying you are practicing the ways of the heathen. That's why when you go back and you look at Fred Sanford, you always hear Esther, you old heathen. Technically, that is incorrect. Heathen just means nation. But after a while, it became adopted as referring to anybody who's doing heathenistic things or sacrilegious or unholy things. Go ahead and read.
But they are altogether brutish and foolish.
He said they are altogether the ones that deal with this Christmas tree, which is 90% of Christianity, so-called Christianity. He said they are altogether brutish. Do y'all know that